Bailey, I'm about to get on the plane.
Hey, Trent. I hope you have a safe flight, sweetie. I just arrived at my sister's place.
I'm glad you got there safely. But, I gotta say, I really am sorry about how the timing ended up working out here. I never thought things would go down this way. Can you believe I'm leaving my 7-month-old pregnant wife to go on an overseas business trip? I'm really sorry, honey.
What choice did you have? Your company needed you to be on that plane, so it can't be helped. You don't need to apologize for being a hard worker, Trent. Besides, it was always decided from the get-go that I'd be having the birth at my sister's place while she looks after me. The business trip itself is only going to last like 5 days, right? I think you'll be surprised at how fast it flies by. It'll be over in a jiffy.
I guess you're right. If these business talks go well, I'll finally be able to get the ball rolling on expanding my business overseas. Complaining won't do me any good. So I'll do what I can to see to it these talks go by as swiftly as possible, so I can get back home to be with my heavily pregnant wife.
Woohoo! That's the spirit. Anyway, don't you have a plane to catch soon?
Holy pork-fried Jesus balls, you're right! Alright, I'm going to switch my phone off, but I'll turn it back on again and let you know when I land.
Great. Safe flight, babe. Hey, Trent. Can you believe it's been 10 whole years? Oh, it's me, your sweet love muffin, Angelica. I found your name by chance online when I looked you up out of boredom. Isn't the internet crazy? I couldn't believe it when I saw all those special feature articles on you. My jaw almost hit the floor. You really did make good on the promise you made me back then, huh? All right, Sugar Pumpkin, let's get married. Where are you living these days? I don't know your address, so I decided I'm going to treat you to a nice little surprise by coming to see you at your company HQ. You know, the company where you work as the CEO. Hope you don't mind, sweetie, but I found the address online. Tell the girls at the reception desk that your future wife is on her way so they don't get a shock when I turn up. Okay, babe. See you soon. Trent, are you for real? You got married already? Is this some kind of a sick joke? When I turned up at your company, I told the receptionist I was the future wife of the CEO and tried to get her to take me to your office. She just said, "You're not the CEO's wife," and gave me the coldest look anyone's ever given me. Ugh, the rudeness of some people. I was so shocked it took me a few minutes to get my bearings back. When I did, I started doing some digging on social media from the car park, you know, on our old classmates' pages, our seniors' pages, and our teachers' pages. And when I did, I found out you got married to that goddamn loser Bailey. I mean, geez, Trent, I always knew you were a gloomy loser with no redeeming features other than your impressively high grades back then, but I still can't believe you'd marry someone like Bailey, who seemingly defied the laws of nature by somehow being lower down the school pecking order than you were. Oh, is that it? Did you become convinced the only kinds of girls you were a good match for were the gloomy goth girls with breath like garbage disposal centers and worse hygiene routines than cave trolls after I, the most popular girl in school, broke up with you? Oopsie. Well, I guess this is technically my fault then. But, on the bright side, baby, if you marry me instead, you can finally break free of your trauma and move on. Okay, it's officially decided. You're divorcing Bailey. After that, me and you are going to get back together and remarry. Make sure you tell Bailey what's happening, okay? Bailey, it's been 10 years. It's me, Angelica. Is now a good time? I need to talk to you about something. Huh? Angelica? Oh, that is weird. I thought I deleted your number, but it still displays your name. What? You deleted me? Well, it has been 10 years. Besides, to be honest, I didn't think we'd ever be speaking again. I'm really surprised you're messaging me, actually. Whatevs, I guess I'm chill with that. Anyway, if we got into that, we'd get distracted from the real reason I reached out to you today, so I'm willing to let it slide. Did you want something? I need you to break up with Trent immediately. Excuse me? Me and him decided to get back together. Wait, you did what now? Oh, come on. I won't let you pretend you don't know about our relationship. Well, sure, I know you and Trent were dating at one point, but that was just for a month while you were back in high school, right? There's no way he'd take you back after the way you dumped him. I didn't even know who you were back then, but the whole school heard about how you said all those awful things to him before dumping him in front of his friends. About that. It turns out Trent remembered everything I said to him back then. Then he used my harsh words as motivation to improve himself for the better, worked super hard for 10 years, and finally became a high-spec winner worthy of my hand in marriage. Isn't that romantic? This only proves his heart is overflowing with pure, boundless love for me and no one else. This is usually the kind of thing that only happens in the movies, which should tell you just how serious he is about winning me. That's why I decided to give him another chance, so we're getting back together. Which means, sorry, babe, but you're nothing but an obstacle in the way of our path to happiness now. So would you mind, doing us both a favor and pulling a vanishing act? Okay, thanks. How long have you and Trent been messaging? Since this morning. Wait, what? So only for a few hours? Well, sure, I guess, but time is no obstacle for a romance like ours. We met up for a sweaty lovemaking session to consummate the flame of our passion straight away. I promised I'd marry him one day if he ever made $750,000 a year. A 10-year gap might sound like a long time, but love like ours wouldn't disappear just because we didn't see each other for a while. Do you understand? Now listen carefully. This is a direct order. Hurry up and break up with him. Do it now.
Bailey, are you okay?
Trent, hey, I'm okay. Your flight landed safely then?
Yep, and I just turned my phone back on.
This is about Angelica, right? She messaged me too.
You serious?
Yep, dead serious. She told me to break up with you.
Why would she be doing this after all this time?
She said she's willing to give you another chance after realizing you remembered what she said back when she broke up with you in high school. She seems to think the reason you've been working so hard these last 10 years was to win her back.
What?
She said she met up with you today and had, well, let's just say she's claiming you guys had an encounter of the intimate variety. She said she promised she'd marry you if you could prove yourself to her by making $750,000 a year.
She said what now? Like hell we did that. I've been on an international flight all day. What the hell? How does she suppose I met her despite it literally being physically impossible? I didn't even respond to her messages.
It's fine, relax, Trent. I know you didn't do anything. She's just lying to try and get me angry enough to divorce you, right?
Of course. Yep, you're right. That's gotta be it.
But what does she mean with this $750,000 thing?
That? I think she's talking about what she said when she broke up with me. She said if I ever became successful enough to make $750K a year, she'd marry me. But she was only doing it to mock me. There's no way a loser like you could ever make $750K a year, was the last thing she said to me.
She said that to you? Jeez, I've heard of people getting it wrong before, but a miscalculation of those proportions? She doesn't know you at all. God, that dumb hoe. You wait till I get my hands on her.
Thanks for getting mad and defending my honor, babe. But you should be careful. Getting all worked up like that could have a negative influence on the baby. So, please relax, okay?
Oh, good point. You're right. Okay, I'll be careful. But she seems to think you fulfilled this promise you made to her. Why would she think you make $750,000?
I have a sneaking suspicion. I think I know what she's talking about. Listen, Bailey, we don't want any of this stuff with my psycho ex-girlfriend having a bad influence on the baby. So, I want you to ignore all of her messages, okay? Actually, scratch that. Just go ahead and block her.
Are you sure?
You're staying with your sister out of state right now, so it's not like there's any risk of her barging her way in and making a scene or anything. I have to put this inexplicable rampage of hers to an end. Leave this one to me.
All right, got it. Don't overdo it yourself, Trent. You still have the company to think about. Hey, I finally found out where you live, so I went out of my way to drive all the way down there so you could have the privilege of living with me. Only to find you frickin' moved? What the hell do you think you're playing at here, Trent? And why are you ignoring me? Isn't that a little horrible?
It's been a while, Angelica. Good timing. I'm glad you're messaging me now, actually.
Huh?
When you say you found my address, do you mean the apartment by the underpass in Garlic Heights in Westglade City?
Yes, I do. Why would you move without saying a word to me? You are despicable, and this is so not acceptable. I banged on the door and rang the buzzer until some old dude from next door came out and went crazy at me for being noisy. All of the neighbors came out and started staring at me because of the racket he was making. Talk about public humiliation. Do you have any idea how much you've embarrassed me? Why would you move all of a sudden without telling me? This is downright wrong. Go on, I'm waiting. I need an explanation. Right now.
All of a sudden? I moved 3 months ago.
Huh?
Besides, what obligation did I ever have to keep you up to date with my private affairs in the first place?
But how can you be serious about wanting to marry me if you can't even message me properly? The only reason you followed through on your promise to me to become a high-rolling stud muffin on $750K a year was so you could have my hand in marriage, right?
No. I don't make $750K a year.
Huh?
If, by any chance, did you confuse my salary with my company's annual turnover?
Annual turnover? What does that mean?
Based on your first few messages, it seems you found out everything you know about my current situation through a few articles on the internet. There's nothing in any of the articles about my salary, but one of them does include my company's annual turnover from last year. And it just so happens it was $750,000.
Annual turnover?
Yes, it means the company's total revenue for the whole year. None of the articles say anything about my salary, which means I'm guessing you just saw the $750K figure, mistook it for my salary, then let your fantasy spiral out of control before spamming me and my wife with a slew of unhinged, delusional messages.
Huh?
Why don't you try taking another look at the articles you read?
You mean you don't make $750K a year? But what about your promise to me?
Promise? Are you actually insane? I don't want us to get back together, and I never promised you anything.
Oh my god, what the hell?
So, yeah, I don't make $750K a year, since pocketing my company's entire annual revenue would kind of be illegal. The company's still small, so me personally, I don't actually make that much at all. Not even close.
What? No way. But I need you to make that much. I'll be in serious trouble if you don't.
Why will you?
Because...
Let me guess. Because you can't pay off your debts. Forgive me for doing this behind your back, but you kinda left me no choice. I had an old classmate do some digging on you to see if we couldn't figure out why you'd showed up out of the blue, acting so crazy after we hadn't spoken for 10 years.
Huh?
First, there's the debt you owe the male strippers for your regular champagne-fueled visits to that shady club on 5th Street. Then, there's the compensation you owe your husband, who you divorced 3 days ago, for cheating on him 3 times across a span of 8 years behind his back, with the gardener, the electrician, and the pizza delivery guy. Then finally, to top it all off, there's the debt you originally owed to one of your relatives.
Ugh. Oh crap, oh crap, oh crap, oh crap!
Yeah, I guess it makes sense you'd be panicking like hell right about now. The way I see it, your little scheme here had two aims. First, you wanted to bag yourself a rich guy to pay off all of your debts and get you out of the huge mess you'd gotten yourself into. Second, in doing so, you wanted to secure yourself a life of riches and luxury and never have to lift a finger again for the rest of your life.
But how do you know all of this?
Do you really not know what our classmate's nickname for you was?
Huh? Nickname?
The gold-digging bimbo.
What?
You even went as far as contacting my wife, making up some pile of crap story about how we met up and got it on in an effort to try and make her divorce me. You're so cursed. My life is sure to take a turn for the worst if I allow you to have any part in it. So, please, leave us alone and never attempt to contact either of us again.
No way. Oh, this can't be happening. Wait! I'll really be in trouble. I mean it. My mom and dad disowned me, so I can't even go back to live with them. Please, Trent, I have nowhere to go. I'm gonna be homeless.
God, you're so annoying.
Huh?
You left me no choice. You, Miss Gold Digger, are about to get blocked. Boom.
Oh my god. Trent, don't call me that. Hang on a sec. Did you actually block me? No! I just told you I'm gonna be homeless, for crying out loud. Do you have no heart?
Angelica, while saying she had nowhere to go, showed up at my parents' house and tried to barge her way in. Fortunately, they didn't live there anymore, having moved away months ago. The house was empty now, and it was through their old crazy neighbor that we heard about the distressed crazy lady seen being taken away in the back of a cop car. Next, she went to my wife's Bailey's parents' house. Apparently, she lived in the same neighborhood as Bailey back in high school. So, relying on that old memory, she made her way to where she thought my wife's parents lived. In another hilarious twist of fate, she got it wrong again and ended up at a total stranger's house. After banging on the door in a frenzy like a escaped mental patient, she demanded that the poor, confused man, who had simply been trying to eat his Fruit Loops in peace, immediately bring out Bailey. Needless to say, he called the cops, and she was taken away in the back of a black and white car with sirens on it once more. This time, the cops involved her parents, but since they hadn't changed their minds about disowning her, apparently she ended up getting dropped off at an acquaintance's restaurant. I don't know what kind of work she does there, but rumor has it that the restaurant is actually a front for an illegal night business involving scantily clad women and poles. And apparently, strange, dangerous-looking men can be seen frequenting the place until the early hours of the morning. Last I heard, she's at her physical and mental breaking point. And her life now solely consists of working ungodly hours for less than minimum wage, like a soulless robot, to dig her way out of the hopelessly large mountain of debt she's in.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Hey Martha, you did get my wedding invitation, right? No need you to respond, but I know you're coming. I already reserved you a seat anyway. Seriously? How could I not invite my childhood friend to my wedding? You're coming like it or not. I didn't even realize who was this for a second. Is this really you, Maya? Yeah, I got the invitation. I'm not attending, so scratch me off the list. You gotta be kidding me. This is the most important event of the century. Sorry, but I have something else on that day. I just can't get out of it. What? No way! You have to! No, I demand that you attend. You seem to have made up your mind that you want nothing to do with me, but I'm not having it. You're attending one way or another. If you don't attend for one reason or another, well, you know what I'm gonna do. I'll tell everyone that you're still fuming from when I took your boyfriend from the way back in high school, and that you're still a childish, pity-minded juvenile. Wait, could you back up? What are you talking about taking my boyfriend? Are you seriously asking me that? Didn't you see the name on the wedding invitation? Yeah, I saw it. First time seeing that name, didn't ring any bells. Where'd you meet this guy? Whoa, stop right here. Are you for real? Yeah, for real. Why so surprised? Oh, wait a second, I get it. You're pretending like you don't know the guy, and somehow you use that reason to get out of attending. Is that it? Please, Maya, I don't have time for this. Have you taken any leave of your senses? What are you saying? I'm deranged? You're the one who's not making any senses, Martha. Why are you trying so hard to erase the fact that I took your guy in high school? I don't see why you don't just accept the fact. It was a long time ago, for God's sake. That's why I call taking leave of your senses, if you ask me. Sorry, Maya. It's no use talking to you. Anyway, like I said, I'm busy on that day. I can't attend. End of the story. I can't reschedule. I just can't. What could be more important than your childhood friend's wedding? At least tell me that. Important enough that I turned down the invitation. Is that so hard to accept? Come on, be a pal, for old time's sake. I better get going. See ya. I'm not giving up, Martha. Yeah, whatever. I'm gonna have your place ready for you no matter what. I knew you were going to come. I just knew it. I had no doubt in my mind that you would show up. I can read you like a book, Martha. When you get all beady-eyed about something, you won't give up until your curiosity is satisfied. In other words, you were so eager to find out about your ex-boyfriend that you had to attend or you couldn't bear it. Am I right? Aren't I? I was positive you would show up, no matter how hard-nosed you were about not attending. Maya, you again? What is it this time? Just thought you may be sweating bullets right now. Don't you see your name in the register at the entrance, right? Well, Martha, have news for you. What a total clown show to see you coming snooping around just to see your ex-beau from high school. Who's going to be my everlasting partner in like 10 minutes? Just leave the wedding gift at the reception desk. So sorry, no seat for you. I know I said I would have one ready no matter what, but surprise, I lied. Oh yeah, about that. So how much did you bring as a wedding gift? Of course, it doesn't even mean I'll prepare a seat for you. No need to worry about that. Why should the bride bring a wedding gift? Pardon me? My ex-beau, as you put it, you must mean my ex-boyfriend from high school. We had our ups and downs through the years, of course, but we somehow worked things out. We even started living together 2 years ago, and we finally made it to this day, our wedding day. Pardon me? Martha, you're being incoherent. You do realize that, right? I'm seriously starting to worry about your mental state, Martha. You say you were living with him for 2 years? That's nuts, because I was the one living with him the past few years. And what's this about you being the bride? I'm sorry. I really should have figured it out. You saw me at the wedding hall, but still failed to make head or tail of the situation. I have no idea what the hell you're talking about. Get to the point, would you? I just figure out my name is really not that common. Our family names were on the wedding list at the entrance to the wedding hall. What? Wedding list? You do know that there are other weddings taking place here today. After all, that's what a wedding hall is. Or did you think you guys were the only people having a wedding here? Anyway, there's the board out front that shows all the weddings taking place today. I saw yours there, by the way. I only noticed mine out there, to be honest. Didn't even glance at it, huh? Figures? Come to think of it, the wedding planner did mention that there would be another wedding on the second floor. The second floor chapel is supposed to be twice as big and much more extravagant than the one on the first floor, which is pretty tiny in comparison. That's the one. Finally, worked it out. That's our wedding, the one on the second floor. Pardon me? Actually, I was shocked to learn that we were having our weddings at the very same wedding hall. Who would have thought? What a twist of fate, huh? But we sure were lucky that our invitations didn't screw up, huh? Considering we've known each other for so long, our invitations were mostly business related, so maybe that's why I guess this answers your questions on why I couldn't attend your wedding. With that said, let's focus on the proceeding of our own respective weddings, why don't we? What do you say? Talk to you again. Wait, are you nuts? What is this? What's this all about? I'll tell you this right now, Martha. My husband-to-be is not going to be yours. He's not going upstairs to marry you. You're out of your damn mind. You're his ex-flame. He's mine now. Can't you get it through that little head of yours, Martha? He loves me, not you. You must be totally delusional to go out and reserve a wedding hall and invite all those guests, and to reserve that huge chapel upstairs. You're a total disgrace. He's not dropping me and going upstairs to marry you. You're going to be standing at the altar all alone, twiddling your thumbs. Give it up, Martha. I win. Martha, pick up right this minute. What the hell is going on here? The groom didn't show up to my wedding. Didn't you even notice your now husband is a completely different person? What's about that? Oh, so the wedding planner explained everything to you in detail, I see. I asked the wedding staff to make sure you didn't barge into my wedding by mistake. Sure glad I went to the trouble. I didn't want to mention that I was having the wedding on the same day. I didn't plan it that, by the way. Didn't want taking it the wrong way and causing you to react negatively, as you tend to do. I have no idea what the hell you're talking about. About this ex-boyfriend that you supposedly stole from me, that story just didn't mesh with mine. So I asked a friend of mine who went to high school hoping she would enlighten me. That guy you were supposed to marry, wasn't his name Dwayne Peterson? That's right, so what? My husband's name is Dan Peters. The names kinda sound alike, so I figured out maybe there was some sort of misunderstanding, name-wise. Huh? You still have me at a lose, Martha. What is this? Some kind of joke? All right. Let me explain. As you know, I went to East Memorial High School. Yeah, obviously, and that's where I took your boyfriend, Dwayne Peterson. I say it now, but the reason why I took him from you is because I couldn't stand it with you to get a guy before me. That's why. Dwayne was attending the daytime classes, right? I was only a part-time student. I was attending the evening classes. So actually, I never met Dwayne Peterson. Not even sure what he looks like, to be honest. What are you talking about, part-time student? We were pretty good friends up until junior high, but once we got into high school, we weren't that close anymore. Maybe that's why you didn't know my situation. Right before high school, my dad passed away, and I had to move in with my grandparents the next town over. It was hard times back then with my father gone. I had to take on a part-time job to help my mom out. That's why I was forced to attend the evening classes on a part-time basis. That's where I met Dan, this guy I married today. Are you serious? This seems so far-fetched. Wait a minute. That name Dan Peters kinda sound familiar. Could it be tri-same guy that was on the news a few months back? Something about rescuing his dad's company, which was on the verge of bankruptcy. By restructuring the whole company and introducing unique ideas, that guy? Oh yeah, that was when the piece aired on the popular variety program a few months back. That's not fair! Excuse me? This kinda means that if I hadn't mistaken your boyfriend, if I hadn't sold Dan instead of Dwayne, then I would have been standing at the altar upstairs instead of you. Why is that you get all the breaks? Why do you get to marry someone super successful guy? Why? It's just not fair. There you go again. Totally not making a bit of sense. The only reason you made this mistake is because you didn't properly verify anything. Maybe you should have put more thought into it before you went ahead. This is not my fault. I mean, think about it, Maya. You spent the last 10 years thinking that you stole my boyfriend from me. You never doubted it for 1 second? You dug your own grave, Maya. No one is to blame but yourself. Don't shift the blame to me, like I said. I have nothing to do with your delusions. But it's just unfair. It's not right. Listen, Maya. There's something really important that you're completely forgetting. What are you talking about? Did you say that your wedding was cancelled because Dwayne didn't show up? Did you ever get hold of Dwayne? He's... Before you start bombarding me with messages online, it seems you have a lot other stuff to worry about. I've got plenty of worries, thank you. What are you talking about anyway? Don't you need to talk to the guy about the consequences of not showing up? Could you mean you're eligible for damages or who's gonna pay for the wedding? I mean, it isn't cheap, I should know. Yeah, you're right. What am I gonna do? I just gotta find that jerk. Martha, if you're there, pick up. Lend me $50,000, I beg you. Stop right there, Maya. Calm down for a second. Say again. I need $50,000. I have to pay for half of the wedding. That's why you need $50,000? Not that I'm bragging or anything, but I heard that your wedding was on a smaller scale than mine. Why would you need $50,000 if you're splitting the cost? No, it's not just the wedding. That also includes the amount I have to my boss's wife. Huh? Why do you have to pay that? It has nothing to do with your wedding. Hold on a second. Don't tell me you're having an affair with a boss's wife. I didn't figure out she would, Oh my god. Impeccable timing, Maya. Right when you scheduled your wedding, she finds out about the affair, and now this. It wasn't supposed to be this way. Incidentally, did you find out what happened to Dwayne and why didn't he show up to the wedding? I finally got a hold of him. Apparently, he was also cheating on me. He came to the conclusion that he loved the other woman more and decided to marry her instead. Can you believe it? Good gracious. Sounds like something with a soap opera. And it turns out that because we were both cheating on each other, neither of us could sue for damages. As for the wedding cost, we had to split that, in addition that I have to pay damages to my boss's wife. I see. So that's why your debt ballooned to $50,000, is that it? Yeah, so you'll do it, right? That $50,000, your husband's successful guy, the president of a company. What's a measly $50,000, right? Good grief, Maya. You have to be kidding me. Huh? Why not? That's like chump change to you. I'm not the CEO of the company. My husband is. I can't just use the funds whenever I want. Then why wouldn't you just ask him? He'll do anything you say. I think no. No matter how many times you ask, not in a million years. But I have no one else to turn to. My folks slammed the door on me and I already broke up with my boss. Come on, Martha. For old time's sake, we were best friends at one time, weren't we? So please. There's one thing you got right. We were friends. That's past tense. After junior high, I stopped considering you a friend. Please, Martha, don't say that. I think I'm officially getting dizzy. Gotta go. See ya. Childhood relationships can last forever, but only if circumstances remain cordial. Just because we live down the street from each other doesn't mean we're friends for life. She always dragged me into her selfish antics until I just got totally fed up and wanted nothing to do with her. I later heard from one of Maya's friends, seems she's really in dire circumstances. For starters, she got kicked out of the apartment that she was sharing with Dwayne after she said her parents want nothing to do with her, so going home wasn't an option. The only option was to get a small one-room apartment over One Market Street for something like $200 a month. As for her job, she invited a bunch of people from the office, and considering what went down at the wedding, she wasn't exactly welcomed back by her co-workers. I heard she eventually resigned and is now working various part-time jobs. According to a friend, she's living a theater bar life, just barely trying to make ends meet.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.